Hi, welcome back to the channel. We're back here again with another video looking over the month of August to see how the portfolio's performed from a valuation perspective and also to see what dividends have come through the door alongside what stocks have been buying and selling this month. Firstly, the portfolio is sitting at about £92,463.96 and this is up from the month previously which was about 89,000, so that's good to see that the money within the market is churning along nicely to the upside, and the cash value is also up. We had about 4,600 in cash last month, and that's good because that gives me a bit of flexibility. Should there be any weakness within the market, I've got a bit of capital there that I can deploy into any stocks that I'm willing to purchase. From buying and selling, I've been quite active. I've sold 3 stocks this month, which have been PPL Corporation, sold Gilead Sciences, and I've also sold Beazley. Whereas on the back of that, I've been purchasing 3 stocks. I've got British American Tobacco and Medical Properties Trust. I've done a separate video on the 2 of those, which I'll link at the top just now, alongside buying Micron. So yeah, been quite active in the market, and we'll certainly take a look to see what profits have been rendered from the positions that I've sold, alongside what prices I've been buying the new stocks at. But firstly, we'll take a look at the dividends to see what was received this month. For me, August isn't the best of months. It came in at £121.11. This was only made up by 3 companies, starting from the first payment we received, which was Vodafone, coming at £102.49, so that's a big dividend payer. Right now that yields about 6% or so. And we've got Apple coming in next, which is on the opposite side of the spectrum. That's a low dividend with only £2.67. And the last payment we've got here is Energy Transfer, coming in about £15.95. In comparison to May, you can see that these sort of 3 months rolling from like May into August and likely November as well are going to be quite quiet months from a dividend perspective. That juicy dividend payment from Vodafone coming at £102 really juiced things up a little bit, and this is mainly because some of the stocks that I've been previously holding were paying out in this month, and I've actually sold them for a profit or so. So this month, not a lot to be shouting home about. September, looking at it from the stocks that I'm expected to come through, should be quite good. That should be up towards about the 200, 220 range, so that'll be really exciting to see that one come through the door. Looking back at August 2020, we'll have a look back to see the previous years for the month of August and what I've generated. Last year, August 2020, was £213.91, which from that month out of the full year was the best month by a country mile. You can still see that juicy payment with Vodafone, and that can fluctuate due to the currency exchange rate depending on what that's sitting at the time. So you can see from the stocks that I've sold, I no longer have Stag Industrial, I no longer have AbbVie, and I've no longer got AT&T, and that's what they were the main ones that generated that £213.91 last year. If we go back another year previous to August 2019, or that month was an absolute standout in that given year. And the reason for that is the juicy payment from Vodafone and National Grid, which I was a shareholder of at the time, coming in at £111.91 on its own. £308.40. That's actually the dividend record that I've got for any payout on any given month. So I'll be looking forward to the next time when I can actually beat that record, hopefully, over the next year or so. But we'll keep an eye on that. I'm not getting too wound up about it, but it's just the way that the dividend payments were issued on that given month. And I really like this chart as I've updated it now, and looking at the overall picture, 9 times out of 10, you can see that month on month, year over year, things are ascending in the correct direction. Now, August obviously being the month which totally contradicts that, and that's just because the stocks that I've sold are no longer paying out in that month, and it's kind of fallen out better over the course of the year. Next month for September will be the real sort of the poster boy of what's possible in dividend investing. If this comes in at about 220, so September could be a really good month because it's the first month in 2018 where I ever received a dividend payment, and it's doubled the year after to £84 or £85. And then again after that it's went up to 120, and this year it could be up about 220. So that's the real sort of advocate of what you're looking for. But of course you're going to have different things that can affect these monthly payouts. So really you're looking at the overall yearly payout, and that's the best way to look at it. I'm pretty much matching where I was for the full 2020, so that's a really good positive note. Total dividend income received from first investing is up at £3,732. As I said, we're now sitting on what we made in the full of 2020, so that will be really exciting to see how the year ends. Now we'll take a look at what stocks I've been selling this month and what profits have been generated. So the first one we'll look at is PPL. I've filtered on here where I've purchased this stock and also where I've sold it, and you can see the purchases at the bottom here. I've also included the first time I've owned this stock, as I've owned it on 2 separate occasions, with the first time generating about, say, £400, £500 in profit, and alongside the second time I purchased it, we only picked up 93 shares. But overall, I sold it with a profit of £155, coming in about 8 or 9%. And the reason for selling it is due to the possibility of a dividend cut. Now, this isn't guaranteed, but there is expectations that PPL could be reducing their dividend payment to become a leaner, meaner utility company. And for me, that's the reason I own PPL, was to get that nice 5 or 6% dividend yield. So for any sort of risk associated with that, I've had a look into it, and I feel that the money that I can take out here, I can better utilise it in other stocks, which I've then went and purchased. Second stock that I've sold is Gilead Sciences. Again, another stock which pay out a high dividend yield, really good payer, and they're doing really well at the moment due to the COVID-19 therapeutic remdesivir, which is looking as if it's really promising. But apart from that, I've looked into their HIV catalogue, which they mainly specialise in, and there's nothing that I'm looking into that gets me hooked on this stock. Whereas if it reduced 10-20%, I would be super excited to buy more shares. And that's the reason I've sold that. Bit of an emotional reason being that it's not a company that I love, really, and I know inside out. That was the reason for selling this stock, and we sold it generating a profit of £176.86, which was only a return about 10.5%. But again, we're happy to redeploy that money into stocks that I feel that I know the business model a bit better and believe in the long-term prospects. Last company we'll have a look at here is a very short-term holding, but the reason for selling here was due to the major share price run up. And I bought this stock at a really good time, as I bought it at about 311 pence, where it only went down a little bit further, down into about the 290 range, and it bounced off a bit of support level, where it went on this major run up to about 450 pence or so. But it did start to trickle down, and it's not a company that I majorly love. It's an insurance company, and this sector get really beaten down, and the valuation is what enticed me in here. And it was just getting to that support level, and I had a look at it, and I thought, you know what, I fancy this one as a good turnaround play. And luckily in this instance, we're right. We generated the £520.73, coming in at 26% gain, and for holding us for only 3 months, I'm absolutely delighted to take this cash and we'll redeploy it back at an opportune time. And I thought it would also be worthwhile taking a look to see what dividends were received over this time period. PPL up the top being a total standout, really good dividend payer with the share price that we purchased this at, but we're getting at about a 5% or 6% yield or so, and that's including the currency fluctuations, which you can see. 93 shares generating between £26 and £23 on average, and I got 5 payments there, so we're happy to get that. And Gilead Sciences down the bottom, giving us £31.19 for the time I held it, and that was over the course of 2 payments received, and one in April and one in July. So that just adds to the capital gains that we went over, giving you a better overall total returns. The first stock that I purchased is British American Tobacco. Company is undervalued in my opinion, a lot of headwinds in the industry overall, but it pays a relatively safe high dividend payout at about 7% yield, and that's what enticed me in. Also with the growth prospects of their smokeless products. I've done a video on this separately alongside the next stock, Medical Property Trust, so again I'll add this to the top here, or I'll put it in the comment section. You can cast your eyes over that video where I've had a little look into these companies further. Picked up a total of 75 shares at a share price of £27, give or take or so, and that was coming in at a valuation of just over £2,000. Second company, Medical Properties Trust, coming in with 154 shares that I picked up at a price of about $19.83. This valuation right now is the valuation of the stock purchase is about $2,200. High dividend payer, about 5.5% based on current prices. So delighted to use the money that I got from the sales of PPL, Beazley and Gilead, and using that money to deploy back into these companies, into high yielders which can generate safe and steady cash flow. And the last one we'll go into here is more of a growth stock that I really like. Micron Technology, specialise in memory storage components. These were on one of my videos for the stock in the months, which again I'll just pop up at the top. If you want to cast your eyes over that, I've had a little look into more detail and explained why I like this stock, and I've listened to my own advice on that occasion and purchased 43 shares at a price of $72, covering at a value purchased of about £2,291. That'll sum up this month's video, looking over the portfolio activity and what dividends we received. If you enjoyed this video, please drop it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think of this. Thanks very much again, and I'll catch you in the next video.